like every week. In this video, I'm going to be giving you my full iPhone 5 review. I know this is a little bit late on it. I originally said when I unboxed it I'd have a review up like one or 2 weeks later, but it ended up being about 1 or 2 months later. But let's go ahead and get straight into this. Of course, I've been using the iPhone 5 for a long time. Now I had it since release day, so I can give you definitely tons of information of my experience with the iPhone 5. The first thing I noticed right when I took it out of the box was how light it was. It's just insanely lighter, one reason is why it feels so much lighter is because it's taller. The weight is more distributed like throughout the phone, I guess you could say. So you're going to notice that it does seem a lot lighter, but overall it actually is lighter. So you're definitely going to notice how much lighter it is compared to the 4S if you've been using that for a while. And originally when I first took it out of the box, I felt like it felt like cheap, and because it was light and everything, it felt cheap because I was used to the 4S and how heavy that was. But now if I go back to the 4S and I hold on to that, it feels like it's heavy and bulky, and this just feels so much better now. So if you're coming from a 4S or any other iPhone, you're going to feel like it's probably cheap at first, but after a while you'll definitely get used to it and realize the quality that it actually has. Another thing is within like the first day, it felt hard to reach like the top of the phone and everything. But I got used to that fairly quickly. It's not like some Android phones, like especially like the Galaxy Note 2, that's like a huge, that's almost like a mini tablet, the Galaxy Note 2. It's not like that where you can't really reach all around the device. You can reach pretty much everywhere on it. Another thing I noticed was the vibrator motor inside the phone. It felt a little bit stronger than the 4S. Not that much of a difference, but I felt a little bit of a difference there with the vibrator motor. In the sunlight, I haven't really noticed too much reflection or glare or anything like that, and you can definitely see the screen out in bright sunlight. I had no problems with that there. This is the black one, of course, as you can tell, and it's called Black and Slate. And I just lost, the camera's not focusing right here. Alright, there we go. And a lot of people have been reporting like scratches and scuffs in the back of it. I have none yet, as you can see. I mean, you can't really tell that closely, but I have absolutely no scratches really. There's a couple nicks here at the top. You might be able to see it. I don't know if you can see that one little small speck right there. And there's a little bit up on the bezel right here too. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you can notice it or not. Okay, you can kind of see it right there. Right there on the bezel, it's a little bit scratched up there. But nothing too bad overall. But that's like pretty much, if you have a case on it, you're not going to get any scratches. I think I'm going to go with a clear back case. That way, all on the sides, they're all going to be covered. And the back, you can still see the back of the design of the iPhone 5. But everything else will be covered, and you're not going to get any scratches. And on the front of it, you're not going to really get any scratches in that, even if you don't have a screen protector. You really shouldn't get any scratches. But one screen protector I would recommend is the I think it's the Glass.T by Spigen. I think I'm going to go ahead and get that and get a review out there on that. I'm not sure when, but that one, that screen protector seems well, and I heard tons of great positive feedback on that screen protector. But really, I don't think you're going to get any scratches or anything. You shouldn't really have to worry about on the front of the phone, actually. So as long as you have like a case on it, you should be good. Otherwise, just be careful with it if you plan on using it without a case. And if you are worried about getting scratches and scuffs on it, I would just go ahead and go with the white one, because the white one, it's white and silver, and basically like the back of it, it's the same. It's silver, but the black one has like an anodized finish on it or something like that. So if you scratch it off, it's going to reveal the silver. But on the silver one, the white and silver iPhone, you're not going to really notice the scratches as much. As for the cameras on this, the front is, I believe, a 1.2 megapixel. I'm not positive on that, but it shoots in 720p, and the back shoots in 1080p, and it's 8 megapixel sensor. Another thing they changed on it was the lens there. I believe it's called a sapphire crystal or something like that, and it's supposed to be a little bit clearer than the 4S, but I haven't really noticed too much of a difference. But as for the rear camera, I believe they said it performs better in low light as well, which I noticed a little bit, but not too much of a difference there either. As for call quality, it seemed better than the 4S. I had AT&T for the 4S and AT&T for the iPhone 5. And the call quality seems better on the 5 as well. And as for the speaker down below, that also sounded louder and clearer. So that has also been improved. The iPhone 5 does have the A6 processor, and web paging, browsing, and everything seemed a lot faster as well. Just like loading up pages and everything loads much faster. I haven't noticed any lag at all. Just going through, like, browsing through these pages here and flipping through them. There's no lag at all, and going up and down web pages is extremely fast. There's no lag there. There's no lag there either. As for LTE, the iPhone 5 does have LTE. I have not been able to use it because where I live, even the biggest city where I live doesn't have LTE yet. I believe it's coming soon to that city, but they don't have it yet. So I haven't been able to test that out, but what I've been seeing from other people is it's extremely fast, up to like 50 megabits down. So that's some pretty crazy speeds. Another thing that I didn't like about it was pocket lint shows up a lot on it. If I have it in my pocket and I just pull it out, there's lint, like I can see the lint all over the screen. But as for the display itself, I believe the color saturation or something has been improved on it, which I noticed a little bit of a difference there. Just the colors look a lot brighter and nicer than they did on the 4S. But not too much of a difference there either. But it's definitely been improved, and it looks a lot nicer in my opinion. Another thing you'll notice is on the iPhone 5, they moved the front FaceTime camera to right above the speaker, and it's centered in the middle there, rather than having it off to the left. The headphone jack has also been moved from the top left right here to the bottom, which is a plus, because when I put my phone in my pocket, I put it so the headphone jack is up, so I like that. And as for the design of it, if we look over here on the side, the edge, like the bezel here, has been cut. I think they said it's been cut with a diamond, and you can see it's almost got like a mirror reflection there on the side there. You can see where the light's reflecting off right there. That's where it's cut. And because of that, the edges are now rounded, so it like drops like off the edge and then it's rounded rather than dropping straight off the edge. So it feels a lot nicer in the hand and everything. It's a lot more comfortable to hold. As for the thinness of it, you can tell already it's much thinner than the 4S. I think it's like the thinnest smartphone they said it's out there. I don't know if that still is true because there have been some new phones that have been released, but I think it is still the thinnest one out there. But either way, it is still extremely thin. As you can tell there. One thing they did also change was the SIM slot right here. They changed from micro SIM to nano SIM, so it's a lot smaller than the micro SIM even now. And on the back of it, which I already showed you guys, but I didn't talk about it, is they got the two-tone color. They got black on the bottom here, black glass on the top, and in the middle, here is the black slate. And of course, they have the lightning dock connector there, so that may be a problem to some of you, and it is to me actually. Like all my cords are the 30 pins, because right now I only have one cord to use with this phone, rather than before I had a cord in my car, I had a cord I could plug into my computer, I had a cord on my bed to charge my phone at night. I had cords all over the place, like the 30 pins, but now I only have one cord I have to use for everything, so that's somewhat of a pain. They do have adapters for that, but that's now like $30, I believe, and then you have to carry the adapter with you everywhere. And as for the height of the device, if you compare it with the 4S, it actually isn't that much taller. It's a little bit taller, but basically how they got this 4-inch display here, the width is the same. If you guys didn't know that, the width is the same, and they just raised the height of it to get the 4-inch display. And basically, it's just a little bit taller than the 4S, like the actual phone itself, but they raised the display to go more into the top of the phone, and then they lowered it a little bit to go lower, like towards the home buttons. But the glass on the display is not it's not cheap at all. You can tell it's glass. On the iPad Mini, it almost has like a plastic feel, like on the iPad Mini, but you can tell it's got higher quality glass there. I believe it's Gorilla Glass 2, I believe it is. I'm not positive on that, but I think that's what it is. Oh, and one thing I forgot to say about the dock is it now is reversible as well, so you can plug it in either way. It's not like the 30 pin where you have to make sure you have it the correct way. And another thing I forgot to mention was the memory in the phone, also known as the RAM. I believe there's 1 gig in it. And again, some people say like some of the newer phones, like the Android phones, have like 2 gigs. But really, an iPhone, it doesn't need all that RAM, just because of the way it's run. All the vertical integration, like Apple, it's their software, it's their hardware, and all that. So it doesn't need that extra RAM. It's able to get the job done with a small amount of RAM. As for gaming on the iPhone, let's go ahead and run some Temple Run here. I know this isn't a very like a high-powered graphics game. It doesn't like use like a whole bunch of power or anything like that. So it's not that great of an example, but you can tell it runs very smooth. Everything's pretty nice on it. So there's an idea of that. The battery life on the phone has been pretty great. It gets me through the day pretty much every day, unless I'm using it a lot. If I'm traveling or something, I'll be using the phone more. So for that case, I will have to plug it in at the end of the day and get some more battery out of it before I end my day. But on a normal day, it pretty much gets me through the entire day. So no problems there really. But if you are using LTE, I do not even have LTE enabled, so I just have it off. Actually, if we go to general and cellular here, you can see I have it off, and that helps out with battery life. If you have LTE on, it will drain it a lot faster, but I get very decent battery life because I have it off, so it gets me through the day on normal usage. Another thing they said about the display was it has an oleophobic coating on it. It doesn't do that well against fingerprints. If we look here, you can kind of see there's some fingerprints on it. It's better than the 4S. But if you're gonna want like a better performance with an oleophobic coating, I would go with like a screen protector that's made for that. Again, Spigen, I know, makes some great screen protectors with oleophobic coatings. Sorry if you guys can hear my dog barking. I apologize for that. But let's keep getting through the review. So honestly, I can't really think of too many complaints about the phone. One thing that has lacked with the iPhone is its iOS. It's very, just very simple, which some people may like, and I actually, honestly, I do like it, but it could use some more customization. I would love the customization of some widgets and just overall everything with the phone. I like to customize a little bit more. I am a jailbreaker for that reason, just because I love to customize the phone. And honestly, I wouldn't want any other phone over a jailbroken iPhone, just because that allows so much more customization. And even with the jailbreak, everything seems to run pretty smooth. So it's not kind of laggy like some Android phones maybe. And iOS is secure compared to Android. That's another reason why I prefer it. But I think on Tuesday here, the Nexus 4 is coming out. I think I will go ahead and buy that and get you an unboxing and some more information on that. And compare it with the iPhone 5. And definitely do a lot of different tests there. I'm going to try to get used to the Android operating system and compare it with iOS. Because honestly, iOS has its pluses and Android has its pluses, and definitely Android, one of its pluses, it's customization compared to iOS. But I honestly, I can't see myself switching from iOS. There's just too many things, like iMessage and everything, and iCloud backups, and I have all my stuff with iCloud, so I really, I don't know, it'd be hard to make the switch now. But that pretty much concludes my my review of the iPhone 5 there. There really isn't anything that I can say about it that I don't like, again, except for the iOS. And I have no problem with iOS, but some of you may. Pretty much the only thing with iOS I have a complaint about is its simplicity. I just wish there was more stuff you could do with it. But overall, I think if you're looking to purchase this phone, there's really nothing I can say bad about it, except for if you don't like iOS, if you're trying to decide between an Android phone and an iOS phone, I think the build quality of the iPhone is going to be better than any Android phone out there. But if you're for the Android OS, you might like it a little bit more if you want some more customization. But if you're okay with the simplicity of iOS, then the iPhone's going to be perfect for you. Because in my opinion, the build quality, like the design of the iPhone 5, there's no Android phone out there that can compete with it, in my opinion. But the OS is really what it comes down to. That's what you're going to be using on the phone, of course. So that's really what it comes down to. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I know I have it out here a while after the release now than when I said I was going to have it out. But nonetheless, here it is. If you guys did enjoy it, I'd appreciate a like down below. It helps me out. If you want to share the video, go ahead and hit that share button down below as well. If you want my future videos, go ahead and subscribe at top. I'll have more tech videos that come out in the future. And if you guys are jailbreakers, I'll be posting more updates to the jailbreak progress and everything with iOS 6 untethered jailbreak. And I'll definitely have a tutorial on that when it's out. But I'll keep you guys updated with the progress of that jailbreak. If you guys want to check out any of my other videos, I'll have an annotation for all my other iPhone 5 videos. If you want to check out some iPad mini videos, I'll also post an annotation to all those videos. And you guys can just check out that playlist as well. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.